What you put on your skin is important. And with so many skincare companies out there, how do you choose a safe, clean product line that works? Well, today's podcast takes some of that guesswork out and covers the essentials that you need to know. I'm talking with Dana Stewart, co-founder of Mad Hippie, a company specializing in advanced skincare. Welcome to the show, Dana.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thanks so much for being here today. I wanted to bring you on and talk about skincare, which is a subject I don't know anything about except for the inside out. But when it comes to topicals, Mad Hippie is one of the leading products that I know we sell in our store. So I wanted to bring you on to talk about skin care, about rejuvenation, routines, whatever you want to talk about today to go over how we can better our skin. First, let's start off, though. I want to hear how Mad Hippie began. I think this is a great story that most people need to hear.
Well, thank you. What a lot of people don't realize is that we actually started Mad Hippie as a line for surfers. And this is something that is new for a lot of people. My husband and I lived abroad in Central America for 5 years. Shortly after we were out of college, we decided that we wanted to live abroad. We totally fell in love with the lifestyle in Central America, and we lived there for 5 years. My husband discovered surfing while we were there, and that's been a passion since then. We were literally at the beach every single day. He was in the water every single day, and it was incredibly fun and exciting. And we enjoyed being part of the surf community. It's a very kind of nomadic group that, is just constantly searching for the best waves. It was all very romantic and exciting, and we absolutely loved our time there. But the one thing that we were left with is a lot of sun damage. My husband is very fair-skinned, and he was noticing a lot of discoloration, a lot of red spots, all sorts of fine lines and wrinkles, all of that stuff that tends to happen when you spend too much time out in the sun and you aren't using proper protection. So the idea for Mad Hippie really came about because we were looking for products that would kind of increase our resilience to all of the sun that we were exposed to. So we knew, of course, we needed to be using sunscreen, but there are all these really wonderful antioxidants out there and great ingredients that actually improve the skin's resistance to sun damage. So kind of stop that oxidative stress on the skin. And so initially the line was about creating this small assortment of products that would be easily usable by the surf community, this kind of fellow group of nomads and wanderers that we've kind of met along the way. And we started with just 3 products. And they were really targeted toward the surf community. My husband made our first packaging. It was bright yellow with a VW bus wrapped around the side. He's not a graphic designer, but we thought it was genius. It looks very much like something in a surf shop. But it was kind of funny as we started to kind of put our products out there and advertise them to the surf community. Pretty early on, we realized that there was a lot broader demographic of people looking for products like this, products that would reduce all of that oxidative stress and free radical damage and premature aging that we accumulate when we spend time out in the sun. In fact, over 90% of what we consider to be skin aging is sun damage. So everything from the breakdown of collagen and elastin, discoloration caused by those damaged melanocytes, all of that is really at its root sun damage. So early on, we rebranded, and that kind of Peter Mac style illustrated box that we have now that's become kind of our iconic Mad Hippie packaging has taken us a lot farther than our bright yellow VW bus packaging. But we still resurrect that VW bus from time to time. You'll see it. We use it in advertising sometimes. It's kind of to pay homage to our early days.
I love the packaging. I mean, it really stands out for sure. Where did the name Mad Hippie come from then? Who came up with that idea?
So my husband is from the East Coast, and if you talk to many East Coasters, things are, mad cool. He was a 90s kid. Things were mad cool. So Mad Hippie was like these super natural formulations that were really clean. They were mad hippie, And then I think the other thing that we kind of thought of is we kind of liked that it was a little bit nebulous, that it left a little bit to the imagination. It left you thinking, what does Mad Hippie mean? And it stuck with people. Some people were like, what on earth is up with this name? Other people were like, I love it. It evoked emotion. So we thought, let's go with it.
You definitely got the attention of many people that way, I'm sure, which is great. It's an awesome name, great packaging. Y'all done a great job on the marketing. But let's talk about the real crux of the whole line. It's helping people with skincare. So tell me a few about what are some of your best selling products and why.
So our top seller has always been our vitamin C serum. That was really the product that kind of put Mad Hippie on people's radar. And I think the success of this product is down to a few things. One, it feels really good. It smells really good. For people who have experience using serums and vitamin C in particular, oftentimes they're sticky, they're tacky, they smell funky. So I think creating a really clean formula that feels good and smells good was part of the battle. And part of it was also just utilizing a form of vitamin C that works well for more skin types. A lot of folks out there have utilized vitamin C in the form of L-ascorbic acid, which is a form of vitamin C that's utilized really commonly. However, it has a few downsides. For one, it's really unstable, so it's hard to formulate with. It tends to oxidize really quickly, and of course, once that vitamin C is oxidized, you're not really doing any good for your skin. And then a lot of people are sensitive to it. You need a really low pH and a really high concentration of L-ascorbic acid to get a really effective serum. And at that concentration and pH, it's just really irritating for a lot of people. So we started utilizing this form of vitamin C called sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is a very stable form of vitamin C that works well for most skin types. It doesn't tend to cause irritation. We mixed it actually with some other antioxidants, including vitamin E and ferulic acid, which actually enhance the antioxidant activity of the vitamin C. You actually always want to use that trio of ingredients together topically. The vitamin C with vitamin E and ferulic acid, it's kind of a extra special trio. They all kind of help each other work better. And then I think,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just curious, that trio, why that particular trio? What's the purpose of the folic acid, the C, and the E?
So the ferulic acid is actually an antioxidant that's sourced from the cell walls of plants. And when you combine that ferulic acid, vitamin E, and vitamin C, there's been a lot of research on it. In fact, Duke University did a big study on it. But we've had it on our website for a while. You might have seen it there. But just talking about how they actually work together to enhance the antioxidant effect of the other ingredients. So they just kind of amplify what those antioxidants are doing. So
that's right.
Really good trio together. And you'll find them throughout our line.
So you have it in most of your products, though, right? That, like you said, I think I've seen it just about most of the products I've seen on the shelf. So I think that means they must be that important for the skincare.
Yes, and of course our vitamin C serum, that's going to be our most concentrated form of vitamin C with vitamin E and ferulic acid, as well as the hyaluronic acid, which really plumps up the skin. So, that's going to be a really intensely rich form of vitamin C. The other products that we make, for instance, we use it as a supporting ingredient in our facial SPF, as well as our hydrating nutrient mist. So you'll see it throughout our line. And then we recently came out with a brand new product, which is our Triple C Night Cream. And that actually has 3 forms of vitamin C. So vitamin C, you'll see that throughout our line. It's such an important ingredient for the skin. Really, really helps reduce that oxidative stress from the sun, reduce that free radical damage that we get when we're exposed to the sun and pollutants and all sorts of things that are in our environment that cause stress on our skin.
And vitamin C helps produce collagen too, right?
It's essential for the synthesis of collagen, absolutely.
Yeah, so vitamin C is definitely important. It has so many uses in the body, and I know skincare especially for sure. So tell me this, I'm a guy, first off. That's already a negative when it comes to skincare because, men don't take care of their skin as much as women do. But how do you create a skin routine? I mean, what would you tell me? I'm fair skin too, freckles, redhead genetics. What would you do for me to help create this skincare routine?
I think the really lovely thing about our line is that it's very approachable. At least that's the aim for us, is that we want people to look at our assortment of products and have kind of an easy time selecting a simple routine. And I'm a pretty minimalist when it comes to skincare myself, so I totally get that kind of overwhelming nature, that overwhelming feeling when you're looking at a shelf full of products and you aren't sure what to choose. And so to make it easy, we encourage people to find a morning and an evening routine, and then just find something that works for their lifestyle. It can be as complicated or as simple as you like. Some people like to use a really elaborate routine. It becomes kind of part of their self-care routine during the day. It can be almost kind of meditative. It's a little break in the bathroom by yourself at the end of the day, putting on your mask or your cleansing oil. So it can be a really enjoyable experience. And some people just want to get through it, get all the ingredients that they need on their skin and get on with their day. And both of those approaches really work with our line. To make a really simple routine, you can go as simply as just choosing a cleanser. And when you're choosing a cleanser, you really want to stick with something that's going to be really gentle on the skin, something that's not going to strip all of those natural oils that are so important for skin health. We have what's called an acid mantle on the surface of the skin, which is essentially just a thin layer of oils that have a slightly acidic pH, and they serve a really important barrier function in the skin, and they actually help the skin stay hydrated. So you really want to choose your cleanser carefully. Our cleanser is actually a cream cleanser, and then we also have a cleansing oil. Both of these are going to cleanse the skin without removing all of those natural oils that are so important for skin health. So that's going to be step one. Following that, you really want to make sure you're hydrating the skin. So we do encourage people immediately after cleansing, apply something to really hydrate the skin. We tend to lose the most moisture from our skin immediately after cleansing. So the vitamin C serum is actually a great option after cleansing. It's rich in hyaluronic acid. It's going to really help bind moisture to the skin. Some people need a little extra hydration. I personally like to use our antioxidant facial oil in the morning as well. Very rich in antioxidants. Ingredients like pomegranate, sea buckthorn berry, all of these really lovely antioxidants that are specifically good for sun-damaged skin. And then the last step in the morning is always going to be your SPF. And that's, of course, a very important step. And we encourage people to stick with a zinc SPF. Zinc is, a physical blocking agent. It's reef safe. It's good for the environment. It's good for your body. So that's going to be your last step of your morning routine. In the evening, we encourage people to sprinkle in some exfoliation from time to time. Some people like to exfoliate nightly. Our line is definitely created to be kind of maintenance for your skin. So and a great nighttime routine is to use like a nighttime serum every night. We have an exfoliating serum that's alpha hydroxy acid based. We also have a vitamin A serum. Both of these are nighttime serums, so they kind of do the work of exfoliation during the evening while you sleep. You don't want to over exfoliate the skin, but you definitely want to slough off those dead skin cells. Make sure you aren't leaving anything that's going to be clogging the pores. So it can be as simple or as complicated as you like. It can literally be cleanse, hydrate, SPF, exfoliate at night sometimes, or you can start adding in all the different steps and adding in a great night cream and, doing an extra step in the morning of double cleansing or there are lots of different ways you can kind of really stretch out that routine to make it more elaborate if you like.
Yeah, and when it comes to anti-aging, Dana, what about brown spots, those fine lines? What are you using for the brown spots? I get a lot of questions from customers in the store. What's a good product to start with for something like that?
Absolutely. So that discoloration is often caused by melanin that starts to accumulate under the skin. You get damaged melanocytes when you spend a lot of time out in the sun, and they tend to overproduce melanin, which starts to accumulate under the surface of the skin. So ingredients that are really, really great for reducing the appearance of that discoloration are ingredients like vitamin C, ingredients like Giga-White that we use in our exfoliating serum. All of these ingredients are going to be really effective at reducing the appearance of that discoloration, and then just regularly exfoliating the skin as well. So you're really allowing all of those active ingredients to absorb into the skin properly.
That's right. That makes sense. And what about wrinkles and fine lines? I'm over 50 this year, so I'm, need to start taking care of those things. What should I be using for that?
Totally. So fine lines and wrinkles, again, oftentimes the result of sun damage over the course of time, the breakdown of collagen and elastin. So utilizing ingredients that, one, hydrate the skin. You want to really make sure you're keeping the skin hydrated. We tend to create less natural oil in our skin as we age. And certain areas produce less natural oil than others. For instance, all around the eye area, we tend to produce very little natural hydration. So really keeping that area hydrated is important. Also, ingredients like vitamin A, retinoids become much more important as you age. So incorporating a retinoid in your routine. Our vitamin A serum is a really popular product in our line, specifically for this reason, because it's so effective at reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles.
Would I use that just at nighttime?
So the vitamin A, we do encourage just at nighttime. Vitamin A as well as the exfoliating serum. Any exfoliant we encourage for nighttime use. Anytime you're taking off some of those dead skin cells, you're revealing healthy new skin cells underneath. Those new skin cells are more susceptible to damage, so you want to really be sure you're protecting them during the day if you're exfoliating regularly. So use that
Okay.
sunscreen and a hat, particularly there in Texas.
Especially in Texas, that's for sure. What about, I saw on your website you have a skin quiz. I thought that was a genius idea of putting a skin quiz to sort of determine. Can you elaborate it to everybody what that exactly does for you?
Absolutely. So the skincare quiz is a great way to give you a customized routine based on your personal skin concerns. So things like, you'll go through and say whether you have dry skin or oily skin or skin that tends to break out easily. And all of these factors give us an idea of the type of product that would tend to work well for you. So for folks who break out easily, oftentimes that skin quiz will reveal things like that you should use your vitamin C serum in the morning and that vitamin A serum at night. That tends to be a really, really great combo for people who break out a lot. Also, oftentimes, if you have very dry skin, incorporating something like that night cream, our new night cream will be suggested, which is very, very rich, very hydrating. It's going to be an extra dose of moisture for sun-damaged dry skin. So it just gives you a little way to customize the routine.
That makes sense, Dana. So, with all the skincare lines on the market, especially even in our industry in the health food stores, what makes Mad Hippie stand out above all the rest? What would you say?
That's a great question. I think it's a variety of things, at least that we feel really speak to our customer. I think one, the fact that it is kind of a minimalist line, it's a slimmed down line of essentials that kind of help people determine the best product for them. And I think people have put a lot of trust in us that we're utilizing clean ingredients. A lot of our products are rated on the Environmental Working Group site Skin Deep. A lot of them are rated on Think Dirty. We get really super safe ratings. We're very careful about the ingredients that we use. And I think people have really, particularly in the last 10 years or so, become so much more aware of these things, particularly in skincare. I think the clean food movement started first, and now people are starting to think more about their personal care products and realize that, the skin is the largest organ. It matters what you put on it. So I think some of these things are becoming a lot more important to people. I think the fact that we're vegan and cruelty-free is important to people. And I think certainly our environmental and sustainability, the emphasis that we put on that within our line is also important to people. We do a lot of partnerships with various, particularly conservation-based nonprofits. And that's always kind of been a part of our platform. We do some fun special packaging, which is really kind of fun and I think speaks to the consumer. We recently did a vitamin C serum that was all branded with an ocean theme, and all the I'm sorry, I'm totally stumbling here.
That's okay. No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Go ahead.
A little bit. So let me start that over. We did an ocean themed packaging for our vitamin C serum, and $1 of each sale went to Oceana. A good friend of mine, who's actually a female muralist in Austin, Texas, did the design for the packaging. So we're doing some fun, kind of innovative things, I think, to shine light on other people that are kind of doing good out there. And I think that speaks to people right now. I think people want to know that they're supporting a company who's out there doing good in the world. And we spend a lot of time thinking about sustainability when it comes to packaging as well. That's something that's really important to us. And we realize that it's something that's going to evolve over time. Better options are going to be available. And we're really trying to be a part of that movement within the industry toward more sustainable practices and cleaner beauty products. So some of those things that we're Well, thank you. I think some of those things that we've kind of taken initiatives on are things like TerraCycle. So basically the components of all of our packaging, like the pumps and the misters, the plastic seal that goes around the packaging, all of that can actually be returned to TerraCycle, and 100% of that can be recycled. And Mad Hippie actually covers that cost. So it's our way to kind of control our downstream waste and make sure that all of that is recyclable by the customer and that they don't have to pay for that. So we're really trying to be forward thinking when it comes to what kind of footprint we're creating out there.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You're not there just to make the dollar. You're actually trying to help and give back to the community as well too. And I admire that. That's awesome. That's why you're in our store. I love your company. Our staff loves your company for sure. And now I guess I got to go home and learn how to cleanse, hydrate, protect, and exfoliate. Right? That's what I've heard you say today.
That's right. Well, thank you for getting it. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Dana, you're a joy to talk to. I sure appreciate you being on the show today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Healthy Approach Podcast. Be sure to subscribe if you like this podcast and help us spread the word by rating and sharing with your friends and family. If you'd like to learn more about ways to improve your skin or just more about Mad Hippie, go to sunflowershoppe.com, that's shop with 2 P's and an E, or visit us at one of our 2 locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.